I am most exciting to be talking with Piedra. If you people don't know her, you should. I don't know where you've been, but you should. Okay, you should have Christina Piedra in your life. Okay, I'm just gonna start with that. If you don't, you are missing something. I met her many, 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 many years ago, and she taught me pretty much everything I know about salsa dancing. But with that grew a family of people that extends from here to freaking Europe and back. We expand far and wide. And I'm going to let her explain what I'm talking about. But I met her through Cultural Explosion. So, Christina, if you would, before I just keep babbling, tell them what I'm talking about.
Yes. So I've been dancing for most of my life. I started as a child, maybe like or so 4 or 5 years old. But as an adult, right around the time when I graduated college, I was maybe like 21 or so, is when I met Juan, and he is the person that got me into salsa. I'd already been a dancer, so like I said, I've been doing that since I was young, but it was like ballet, jazz, and like technical dance, like things like that. I did not do Latin dance, even though I am Latin. So my family is from Cuba. People can't tell that by looking at me, but because there are assumptions, right? So like even now, in 2021 now, because I have to get used to doing that, right? Um, People still have these ideas of what people should look like from XYZ place, right? So Latin people, we come in every shade and color, like white like me, all the way to like black, all colors, all shades, all sizes. There's no like this person is Latin, but people have like an idea of what it looks like, and it's not me. So that shocks people usually, although some people do guess, because some people that are also either have friends or family that are skin Latinas like you, then people don't guess it at all. And it's really funny to ask people where they think I come from, because I've heard every possible place on the planet, other than anywhere where dark skinned people. So I started dancing Latin through Juan, and although I grew up Cuban, I didn't know how to dance Spanish. It was just a little, side to side thing that everybody does at home, what we call like home style. And it's, whatever, all Latinos do it, and we think we're great, and like we're killing it. And then like you go to a salsa club, and you're like, oh no, I really am not killing it. So I wanted to learn to dance, and my girlfriend, who's still my friend, she was like my friend from like kindergarten. She's like my sister from another mister, right? I love her, but she's not the most coordinated person, let's say. One day we were out at Copacabana back then, and she started dancing salsa, and I was like, hold up, like, how are you dancing anything and looking cute? And like, why am I not looking cute? Because I'm the dancer out of the two of us. So wait a minute, I'm supposed to be looking cute too, right? So I'm like, wherever you went that got you to look like that, take me there. And that's how I met Juan, actually. I just went to a group class, and I was like, whoa, like this is a whole other planet. Like, what's going on here? And because of my dance background, it up fairly quickly, and a lot of things transpired, and just like the way the universe works, eventually he needed a new dance partner, and I was as an IT recruiter. That was my first job out of college, and that didn't work out because of 9/11. That was during that time. And long and short, I ended up being his dance partner. It was supposed to be temporary while he like found someone else, and while I found another job. And it like obviously never wasn't temporary. Like I'm still dancing. So we explosion, but I came in very early on, and most of like let's call it the golden years of Culture Explosion was with him and I. And we were taught together. We did performances. We had showcases, we had dance teams, we traveled the world, and that's how we met you and many wonderful people like you that are still in our like circle of friends. And a lot of people that are really close friends met through Cultural Explosion, and some people met and got married and had kids and had, you know, full families through Cultural Explosion. So we're very happy, and like even now we talk about it all the time, and we're like, hey, remember this? And we'll get a memory on Facebook and we'll be like, oh my god, the theater show, and like, you know, we did all those theater shows, and we really have a lot of great memories, and we're really happy about that time in our lives and the fact that we were able to bring so many people together.
I love it. Yes. And, you know, everybody I think who I know, they say my salsa family because of you guys, you know, and that's how we feel. People don't understand or didn't understand, or maybe don't understand, like how you could go to a club and be like, oh, who are you with? I'm like, okay, I'm with those 20 people over there. So it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm with those 20 people over
Yeah.
there. We travel in herds. You never go and be like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to be or who I'm going to be with. Or like, who are you with? Okay, those 20 folks, those are my people.
And you know that you're always going to find somebody, like even if like you go out alone, you know you're not going to be alone, because you will run into someone or many someones that you can like dance with and hang out with. So that's the beauty of like our dance community, is that I would go out alone all the time, but I knew like once I got there, you know, I wouldn't be alone. So it's a wonderful thing. And I mean, that's one of the things that I miss the most, is not just the obvious not dancing part, because that's obvious, but that whole like community and friendship and like social aspect that, you know, obviously we don't have. And that was like a big part of my life, and I think for all of us, a big part of our social life. And now, like, you know, for the past year we just haven't had that. So it's a big hit.
And I switched my focus for work and things like that. So I was kind of focused on that. And I was like, you know what, I'll dance next month, or I'll get back out to dancing next month. And then COVID hit. And I'm like, ah!
Yeah. 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 No, that's a great point. I think that as people, we just do that. Like, because it's just like, I think that's one of our fatal flaws. Who knows? Maybe Adam and Eve or something. But it's just something that we do, that we're always like, okay, well, you know, can't do it today, you know, I'll do it next week or whatever. And we always assume that this thing or person or whatever is going to be there.
Yes.
And, you know, that's not always the case. So even though like some things can happen, like we might lose a loved one, or in this case, we lost our whole lives, things happen. And then we're like, okay, yeah, like I have to change that. And we'll change it temporarily, but then we'll go back to the default. Once things get better, we always default to like the procrastinating thing. So I think one of the biggest lessons to come out of this is like, don't procrastinate. Like if you love something, you know, you want to go dancing and you're free tonight, go, because you never know when a worldwide pandemic might hit you and you won't be able to go out dance or more. So yeah, maybe like we just need to live in the moment a little more, right?
Yes. I actually just got a call from my cousin. Speaking of people and places and things, I was trying to end the call, but the call is still going. Forgive me. Anyway, I know that COVID has definitely taught me to not take people for granted, or take times for granted. And I literally stop myself from being me and like focus on, like, I know people say like be in the moment, you know, but for me, I have to make a conscious effort to do that. And salsa dancing was like one of the things I love doing, because when I go dancing, all I have to think about is dancing. Think about like, you know, the person that I'm dancing.
Yeah.
And you can kind of like tune out the rest of the world, for me at least, while you're dancing. And there's few things you can do like that and enjoy them that you can just tune out.
Right. Keyword, enjoy them.
And be in the moment. And that's, I guess for me, that's what dancing does for me. But I just wanna, I told you I was gonna gush, and I'm not gonna let that part go. To this day, I love when people come up to me and they ask me, are you Dominican? They ask me that after seeing me dance, which makes me think, oh, my dancing must have been good, because they look at me and they go, are you Dominican?
It is good. Present tense.
They won't even ask me
Yeah, totally.
are you Dominican? Like, I'm like, it was a dancing, huh? So I'm like,
No, girl, not just that, the body too, because the bam, bam, bam.
they don't expect to know how to dance.
Yep.
Like, aha, I gotcha. But yeah, the I don't know, the family that you guys created. And like you said, there were people, or there are people who are, of course, Spanish, but black, white, Greek, Asian. Like they all love salsa. And it unified us all. You know, we just saw everybody as family, not as, you know, a specific color or anything like that. It transcends all that. And oh, I wish if we could just, you know, have the whole world salsa. Then maybe we could all, you know, act like a family like that, because it's amazing. And like you said, I have gone like to New York because we're in Jersey, but I've gone even like to Florida, places, you know, like with old friends, and it's like immediately you pick right back up from where you were. They're like, come on, let's do this, you know, and we're unified in dancing.
Yep.
It's not even a second thought, you know.
Yep.
It's just boom, and your family. You don't even think twice about it. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, that was a big part of Juan's mission and why he called the company Cultural Explosion, because that was the whole thing, was like to combine cultures, to combine people, races, ethnicities, and like dancing is just that neutral, beautiful space where you don't need to speak the same language. You don't need to like even be able to communicate verbally. It's just you get on the dance floor and you're dancing, and that unifies everyone. And we were all about that before it was trendy. Like, it's our mission, you know, from the beginning. And it was always important to us to be inclusive. And we actually, it wasn't like purposefully said like we don't want only Latinos. It wasn't like a thing, but in a way it was. We didn't want to just be like all Latin people in our dance company. We wanted to have diversity, and we were proud of that. Like, we love that we had Black people, Asian people, Indian, like every ethnicity was represented.
Yeah.
And people would be like, oh my God, you know, I didn't know such and such person from such country could dance salsa. We're like, yeah, that's what we want. Anybody can dance salsa, and dance is for everyone. And we love when people embrace our culture, just like other people, I'm sure, feel the same way about theirs. And the more that you educate yourself on other people's cultures and the things that they love, like dancing, those things bring us closer, because we really have so much more in common than we have not. But we focus on the nots instead of on the positives.
Yes.
And, you know, dance is just one of those like happy common grounds that allows us to focus on the positive, and like you said, just kind of like escape from everything else and be in like a good, healthy space.
Yes. And since my channel is about fitness, I'd like to say that, you know, you can do like 4 hours of dancing and lose 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Not think twice about it. Be like, yeah. Good. And it's not a brutal workout. It's so much fun. Your feet do hurt, but you kind of forget time the next song, you hear the next music, and you're like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people join dancing for the fitness aspect, and because they want to like tone up and get the cardio, and that is there. Like, if you approach it that way and you dance high fast speed songs, and you do back to back for an hour or two, you will see the impact. And with certain aspects of it, like say the Afro-Cuban part where I did some choreographies in that, and you know, our mutual friend Aurelis and Jessie and some of these girls that always participated in the Afro choreos, they loved it, because they would be like, oh my God, like, you're getting me into shape for summer, you know, like, it's a very intense workout, and the muscles are being worked, and you know, you're having fun, but at the end of the 10 weeks or whatever it was, a 3 months course, your body changes. So it was definitely a big motivator for some people. Other people would come in because they, you know, had a recent breakup, or they had some kind of like issue that they were struggling with, and this made them feel better, and it made them laugh and smile and feel happy again. So there were different like ways. Some people just came in to meet people. They wanted to make friends, or like meet pretty girls, because you know, we always had a lot of that, right? So like,
Yes.
different reasons, different motivators, but ultimately, you know, like you said, we all became close and tight, and are like to this day. So it was a wonderful time. I wish I could kind of like go back and like live it again, you know, even for like a little while, because those were great days. Yeah,
Have more. I know one
those were great.
friend who's a guy was like, let me get this straight. The girls come up to you and ask you to dance? I like this thing. Like, I'm going to keep doing this thing.
Yep, yep. Yeah, and we're all like happy, friendly, smiley, like, you know, like who doesn't want to be around that kind of energy, right? Like you are definitely one of those people with you know, smiley, happy, bright energy, and that's awesome. Like who doesn't want to surround themselves with that, you know?
Salsa is definitely my happy place. It's just my happy place. I hear music and I see people and I'm like, yes, let's do it.
I know, I miss it so much.
So I'm hoping that we are rounding the corner and that we can get back to, yeah, that's the other thing, like just the hugs, the simple thing, like whenever we see our salsa people, you give them a big hug and you say hello. So it's so awkward, like to see folks and be like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, it's so like you feel like you're being rude, right?
It's like, what is that? We're so, I mean, we do the big bear hugs. So to meet, to see someone and be like, hey, how are you? It's like,
Right, like, hey, what's up, elbow? How's my elbow?
you didn't know how to act. You're like, hi. it's.
I know. It's wild. It's been almost a year, and I'm still like confused about the whole thing. Like, how did this happen? You know?
Yes.
Yeah, and for people like us that are
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
they were already kind of people that were introverted, or people that their jobs, had them work alone, or things like that, where the shift wasn't so drastic, but like from what we were used to.
All right. So I think I just lost you there for a minute because I had a little thing that said your internet connection is unstable.
Oh,
If it proves that whatever you just said didn't come through, I definitely will try to cut that and redo it again. But you were saying there were people who worked and they were what were you saying? I'm sorry.
that for some careers, some jobs, people were already used to working on their own or working like alone, and some people are just naturally introverted, and that's who they are, and they're not really that social to begin with. So the COVID situation wasn't that drastic of a life change for them,
Right.
although they still experience some of the hardships for sure. But I think for people like social and outgoing, like dancers, it hit us extra hard because we now had such a shift from what we were used to,
Def-
with our community of so many people and close contact all the time. So like now we couldn't do these things. So I think people like us maybe struggled a little more. We're used to less human interaction on the daily.
All right. So speaking of the daily, what are you doing daily now since you can't do like the big events anymore?
Yeah. I've been trying to do over the months that have transpired. I've been doing more online work, like a lot of people like me, teaching online. Some private lessons on. I did have a few corporate bookings. A very one was Verizon. It was a really good booking that I had for a few months, where I did a weekly dance class for their employees. They were trying to give them some kind of stress release for their like busy week, where they could log off and take a dance class virtually. So I had a couple things going like that, but honestly, it's just a major decline from the level of activity that I had. Coaching my dance teams almost 5 to 6 days a week, and on some weeks I had something going on every day. So it was a little rough at first. I got into working, which I don't like. I mean, God bless you and people like you. I have a lot of respect for people that are into fitness. It takes a lot of discipline, like, and a lot of like motivation. And, you know, I was never one to like go to the gym and like self-motivate. Like I need to have people to yell at me, because I don't do that well on my own. But I was trying to work out from home because it was just, I went activity, the perspective of like weight gain or whatever. It's also like mentally, like it messes with you to just be sitting around, you know?
Yeah.
So I did try to do that, you know. It wasn't that great because it was my first time trying to do it on my own, but I did something and it was good. Like moving around in any capacity helped me get through it. But I was collecting unemployment for some time. Thankfully, you know, gig workers were included, and that was a big help, because just literally, like, when my whole career consists of having strangers get together and dance, I couldn't. So to resume some things with my teams, but only the footwork teams,
Right.
because the partner work, you know, for obvious reasons, couldn't do it.
Right.
So I slowly started getting back into it, and, you know, I've been doing a little bit, but it's just, it's still a percentage of what it was. So I just try to keep busy, try to be creative with new things. I choreographed a routine for myself, which I haven't done in a while. And it, like, who knows when I'll get to do it, but it was more just, again, to keep myself busy,
Right.
both physically and mentally. And I'm hoping for this new year that I'll get some more virtual gigs, and that soon we, like you said, will be turning the corner and getting back into things, because yeah, it was definitely a big hit for me. But on the brights, I did get to spend a lot of time with my family, and I have a little niece and nephew that I absolutely adore beyond. And I wouldn't have been able to spend that much time if I was dancing and traveling like I normally would have been. So that is a silver lining, that I got to spend a whole year kind of like with them almost every day, and it wouldn't have gone that way. So I am grateful for that.
Well, I one of the things in talking to people, I love going to the gym and things like that. Again, it's more like the social thing. So just like I run in the morning, sometimes with my girlfriends. I was bike riding with some folks on Sundays, but it's not the same. It's not the same level, and I need the dancing. I need the gym. I need the the whole thing to like.
Yeah.
It does mess with you to not be able to do that, but I know that I love talking to people because they told me their ways of coping, you know, and how they got around it or through it and
Mm-hmm.
under it, over it, however they had to do it, which was inspiring to me. So I'm like,
Right.
you know, we can do this, we can do this. um so speaking of virtual and privates, so if people want to contact you, Christina, how can they do that?
Yeah, so I'm on most social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Of course, I have my email address. I can also provide my cell phone number, so you can DM me or text me or email me if you're interested in anything virtually. I am offering some in-person things, but like, for example, the Shine team. So if you were interested in coming in and doing shines, you know, so we upholding all of the state mandated precautions, and where everybody must wear a mask to dance in the studio, and we do temperature checks and constant cleansing and sanitizing and all of this. So we do have a capacity because of the rules. So it is limited, but I do have a little more space, especially on the Mambo team for Shines. If anybody were interested in that, we could definitely discuss that. And because it Shines, there's more flexibility on the level as well. You do have to have some knowledge, like have done some salsa for beginners, but you don't have to be like pro, you know, because it Shines, you know, it's fine. If you need need more time to learn the combination, you're not affecting anyone, you don't have a partner, right? So that is available. And if people wanted to do something virtually, we could do private lessons. I'm also offering the dance teams virtually as well, which was a new venture that I took on because of COVID, and I had never done that before. We record our sessions, and we do have some members that are on the team but don't feel comfortable coming into the studio just yet, and they're taking the courses virtually. And so that option, that if people can join the teams, take the courses, and do it from their home. They can do it from home.
For people who don't understand what a shine is, explain what that means.
Oh, very good. Thank you. So that is open footwork. So in salsa dancing, bachata dancing, Latin dancing, there's two primary concepts, which is dancing with your partner and dancing on your own. And in the performance world, we can do full choreographies of this, where you do a whole routine doing steps by yourself in that specified genre, whether it be bachata, salsa, or cha-cha. But even in partner work, if you were to go to a Latin club, hopefully soon, when these things get better, you'll find that people are primarily dancing in partners, but at some point in the song, they will usually separate from each other and do some dancing for each other, open steps. And those moments we refer to as shines, where the name came to be because it was the moment where you get to shine when you're on your own and not being connected to a partner. So for the lady, it is the only time that you are dancing your own stuff, because the rest of the time you are following the leader, right? So you are restricted in some way leader leads you into. So the name came to be because it's where we shine and do our own moves that we choose to do without having to follow. So that name kind of stuck, and that's what we call anytime that you're doing open footwork. So we can do this in any of the Latin dances, and it's actually a ton of fun, great workout. And the benefit is you don't need a partner. You can do it at home, you can do it anywhere. And then if you were to dance with a partner and separate, you would have a little repertoire of moves that you could do.
Yes.
Go out with the girls and don't have a partner, you don't need one. You can just do your shines all night and it's totally fine. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Very good stuff. Yes. So I just wanted to throw in there, when we say salsa, just so people know that when we're saying that, we mean salsa, bachata, merengue, bachata, cumbia, zumba. Like, we just say that to encompass all of them, because some people go, oh, it's only salsa. I'm like, yeah, no. No. And with you
right.
Go. Because you're special.
Yeah.
So yes, I just want them to know it's all encompassing. We just say salsa, but we mean just any style of Latin dance. Let's put it that way.
Yes. My focus is salsa, bachata. I also do cha-cha-cha and Afro-Cuban dances, Latin jazz, things like this. There are other dances that can be learned and are popular in the nightclubs, like kizomba. Zouk is a good one, but you don't really do that social dancing too much, but it's gotten very popular out in like the dance circles. Some people teach cumbia, and there are nightclubs that play a lot of cumbia. So depending what you're looking for me personally, I focus on salsa, mambo, and but these are the two, I would say, most popular dances that you'll find in a Latin nightclub.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm going to get all of your contact information so I can say, all your hashtags so they can find you. Yes. For taking this time. I appreciate you working through the technical difficulties with me. I am so looking forward to...
Girl, it's okay. I'm like the worst with technology. It follows me. It's probably my fault, not yours.
I'm going to definitely look forward to the moment where I can see you and actually give you a big hug and be like, Christina, as normal.
For inviting me to your interview session, and I want you to know that you've been a big part of Culture Explosion from the beginning. We always appreciated you. We could count on you for like laughs and smiles and all that beautiful stuff. You're just a beautiful person inside and out. So I was very excited to do this with you. I think it's great that you're doing this with your community and with other people in fitness and otherwise, because we need to keep conversations going and keep interactions going and dialogue so that we stay connected as best we can throughout this.
Yes.
So I appreciate you and everyone like you doing interviews and things like this, because it's much, much needed. So thank you for inviting me. And we definitely miss you. You're very special to us. So I can't wait to see you in person, hopefully soon.
Thank you so much. You know what? I remember a routine that you did, and it just popped in my head this morning when I knew I was going to talk to you. And I think that was the routine that was supposed to be like a 2 or 3 minute one that you made like 6 to 12 minutes.
Yeah, I don't do 2 to 3 minutes.
You were just taking ideas and you say, okay, is there any music or anything that you like to hear? And I said Nina Simone, and lo and behold, didn't you make a routine around that? I was like, oh my God, like she heard me.
Yeah.
I'm big kids and in a good way, so I don't know if everyone loves me as much as I love them, but I just know that I can't see the Salsa family without gushing and without being like, yes, my people. Because that all started with you guys. It's amazing that you could do that, and I hope that you know how much your community loves you for putting that all together.
Thank you. That means a lot. That's like, for me, the biggest thing that I would ever want to do in life, like what I see as my life mission, is to inspire people, just to bring happiness and inspire people to come out of their shell and to show them that anything's possible. Yeah, you can be a dancer. Yeah, you can be a performer. Yes, yes, yes. Right. So if I've done that in any capacity for people, it makes me feel very fulfilled. So I am ecstatic anytime someone says something like that to me, because that's really all I ever want, is to bring people some joy and be inspiring. So thank you very much for that.
You still continue to be, and I'm so looking forward to getting back out there and dancing with you, just sharing some dance floor space with you.
I know, I can't wait. I really can't wait. Keeping the positive vibes into the universe that it'll be soon.
Yes. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, Mama.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.